everybody, how we all doing? This is Scott here from UFScotland. Today I'm bringing you a little deck profile. We're going to be talking about Ken 2. Now this is my personal Ken 2 deck, so there's some choices in here that some people wouldn't make, but I actually really love this deck. It's fairly inexpensive. Um, it's great for new players. It's explosive, fast. It kills people turn two. This is what we're talking about when we want a really fast aggro deck, a bit of Ken 2. So first let's just discuss Ken 2 himself. So he's a 7-hander, 21 health, which is on the higher side of a 7-hander. His symbols are all fire void. This deck here is built off of fire. We've got some access to some great cards in fire for him, and let's just get into it. So Ken's first ability, E, remove the top 2 cards of your deck. Your printed 4 or higher difficulty attack gets +1 speed and +3 damage for each attack removed this way. So you remove top 2 cards of your deck, you rip 2 orange cards from the top, and your attack gets +2 speed, +6 damage. This is the ability that makes your deck dangerous. Next ability there is E, remove top 2 cards of your deck. If this attack shares a name with a card and you remove from game pile, draw 2 cards. This is what's going to help you go longer. So you rip two cards from the top of your deck, you pull off the same card that you're using to attack, you draw 2. Absolutely fantastic. So let's just get right into the meat and bones. I'm going to start off with foundations here. Let's just do some of the boring stuff, and then I'm going to talk about my attack package. My attack package is where things get a little bit different. So first card we've got for foundation is Undying Rage. It's a 3 diff with a 6 check. 6 checks are going to be in this deck quite a bit. I tried to stuff as many 6 checks in as I could without going overboard. But this deck says E, commit. If the top card of your discard pile has Desperation or Fury added to your hand. There is some attacks in here that do have Desperation and Fury. So commit this, pick up an attack. Absolutely fantastic. We're only playing 1 copy because it's just a little bonus. It's not really needed. Our next 3 diff is Hellward Bound. This is 3 diff for a 5 check with a +2 mid block. This says E, flip. Discard 1 attack from your card pool. I've got a saying with this deck that you only need 3 foundations and you can go. And this card is one of the reasons why. 3 foundations, you can kill your opponent. So E, flip, discard an attack from your card pool. This just obviously lets you get rid of some progressive difficulty so that you can go that little bit longer. We're playing 2 copies of Hellward Bound. It does have another ability there, but I've never ever seen it used. So I'm really just going to be discussing why cards are in the deck. I'm not going to discuss the whole card because I feel that would be a bit pointless. So our next card here is I Feel Violent. This card is +2 low block with 5 check. This says E, flip, my attack gets +4 speed. The reason that it says E, flip, it gets +4 speed is because you're going to have more than 4 attacks in your remove from game pile. Every time that you play those Ken E's, you're going to be ripping off attacks. So yeah, my attack is +4 speed. This is great for finishing. You just need to push that little bit of speed so that your opponent can't block your big damage attack. So we're playing 2 copies of I Feel Violent. Next foundation here is Kirin Soul, little defensive priest. Sometimes those games can just don't go your way at the start. You don't manage to pull off the turn 2 or turn 3 kill. So Kirin Soul is going to help you stay alive just that little bit longer. 2 diff, 5 check. It says E, flip. this attack gets -1 speed for each character in your staging area. We only have the one character, so this attack gets -1 speed. If you block it, it deals no damage. So this is going to save you from those big chunky throws that are floating about right now. It also saves you from, like, you only have a mid block, they're coming in with a big low. So it can save you from those. Like, you could partially block an attack, take no damage. So we're playing 3 Kirin Soul. 1, 2, 3. Stack those up. TTS isn't the best for this, I understand, but it's all I've got access to. I don't actually have a webcam at the moment. Otherwise I would like to just do this with real cards. So our next foundation is Banished and Broken. This is a 2-diff with a 6 check. Mainly was put in here at the beginning because it was a 6 check. I was just trying to stuff as many in, but then I found it's actually pretty useful. So it has static text. This foundation cannot be destroyed by your opponent's effects. This is great. Like, you do not want any of your foundations disappearing. It's just something that you cannot let happen. So the fact that this is here, it's not going anywhere. It also has a deterrent against people trying to destroy your foundations. Like, so its response 5 up. If your opponent tries to make something leave, they lose 2. Like, if they try and destroy your foundation or remove a foundation, like, they're losing 2. It also has your reversal attack gets +2 damage. There is a couple of reversals in here, so the +2 damage can help. That can help just push over the edge, maybe them pulling out a block or anything, or that +2 damage could be the kill. So yeah, we're playing 3 copies of Banished and Broken. Our next foundation is Born from Destruction. This card's fantastic in Ken. So this is here E. If there's a copy, this is the second E. If there's a copy of this attack you remove from game pile, this attack gets +1 speed, +1 damage. You're gonna have your attacks are gonna be in removed from game pile. So if you have multiple of these Born from Destructions out, like, you're gonna stack up speed and damage pretty fast. You can also E commit, draw a card. This is only playable if you've lost vitality this turn. Like, personally, I don't think I've ever used it for the E commit draw card. I don't think that I've ever needed it because games are over really fast. But it could save you in a pinch. So we're playing 3 copies of Born from Destruction. If you manage to get 3 copies out, then you're on to a winner. Our next foundation, Folktale Storyteller. So its response, card pool. You discard the top 3 cards of your deck. After you play it, if you've got 2 or more foundations, add it to your staging area. So this is great in conjunction with Ken's second ability. So you can start your attack string. You remove the top 2 cards, you draw 2 cards, you draw into a Folktale Storyteller. You can then just play that Folktale Storyteller, drop it down, and you've got an extra foundation to help that turn go that bit longer. This can help push a kill turn. Great if you draw it mid-turn. And so now we're on to our spam, so our 1-diff and 0-diff foundations. First one up is a Worthy Vessel. This E flip, remove 1 card from either player's discard pile. Excuse me. So this can help you find an attack that you need. You can remove an attack that you're playing from your discard pile, just so that you can trigger that Ken's second E to draw 2 cards. Also says E, once per turn, lose 1 vitality. This attack gets +2 or -2 damage. So yeah, you can cut yourself for 1. And push your attacks an extra 2 damage, which can help push the kill. It can also save you. Like, you can also cut yourself for 1 and take the -2 damage, which can save you. I've used it to save myself a couple of times. So we're playing 3 copies of a Worthy Vessel. Our next foundation, this is a staple in Ken, or at least in Fire Ken. It's got 3 static abilities there. It's anti-stun, so if your opponent tries to stun you, they lose 2. But the main ability here is E, once per turn, you discard a card and you get to ready this foundation. It's also a 6 check. Like I said, we tried to cram as many 6s in here as possible. So if you get a few of these out at the start of the game, this is going to help your turn go longer. This is going to help your turn 2 kill. So we're playing 4 copies of the Azure Nightmare. 3 and 4. Next foundation, this is purely in here because it's a 6 check, but it also stops some of your key pieces, i.e. your Kirin Souls, your Born from Destructions, from your I Feel Violence from being flipped. So if your opponent's playing the flip game, you can get your police connections out just to kind of save some of your defensive and offensive pieces. But it's mainly in here because it's a 6. So we're playing 4 copies of police connections. We're also playing Searching for the Nightmare. This is going to help you get those extra foundations. So this says E-flip, add the top card of your deck to your staging area face down. Only playable if you have played a combo ability this enhanced step. Now there's a few combo abilities in this deck, we'll get to those when we talk about the attacks, but this says E-flip, build one. Absolutely fantastic. So we're going to be playing 4 copies of this, because we're hoping to be able to get as many foundations as early as possible so that we can kill our opponents turn 2, turn 3. Last foundation then, this is mainly in here for a 6 check, 0-6, no surprises. So we're playing 4 copies of this, no 3 copies, sorry, my bad. So yeah, that's our foundation lineup. Just going to stack these up here. No, not on top of Ken. Never mind. I'll get Ken out in just a second. Where is he? He's disappeared. There we go. So that's our foundation lineup. 35 foundations. Very, very simple package. There's nothing overly expensive in there. I think Kirin Soul's probably your most expensive card in there. There will be. I'll get prices up and stuff for the video. But yeah, nothing overly expensive. Most is common, uncommon. So next, I'm going to be talking about our actions. We're only playing 1 action, 3 copies of Yin and Yang. Now, Yin and Yang isn't necessarily needed to play this deck. It's just a nice little bonus. I actually think it's the most expensive card in the deck, so it isn't needed. This could be your upgrade. So Yin and Yang is a 2-5 check with a +1 mid block. It says response remove. After I block with this card, add a combo attack from my discard pile to my hand. Now we do have a few combo attacks. I'll discuss what combos we have when we get to them. So this is pretty much block with it, pick up another card. The other ability, response remove. After you play this combo attack, after you play a combo attack, sorry, your opponent adds the top 2 cards to the deck to their card pool face down. So clog your opponent for 2 after you play a combo attack. This can help your kill turn, because clogging your opponent for 2 is going to make it harder for them to block. So we're playing 3 copies of Yin and Yang. Like I said, it's not necessarily needed to play the deck. It's just a nice bonus. So next, what I'm going to talk about is what I call the orange action cards of the deck. So first up, we have Leg Shredder. This doesn't really get played as an attack. Very, very rarely gets played as an attack. It's 3 diff, 3 check with flash and kick. Kick becomes relevant for when you want to play it as an attack. But the reason this is in here is it's static text. After this card is removed from the game, ready a foundation. Now, with Ken's ability to rip cards off the top, you're going to be able to ready foundations. So this is going to help your attack string go just that bit longer. Like I said, it's very, very rarely played as an attack. The only time I would really play it as an attack is for the kick keyword, and we'll discuss that a little bit more later. So I'm playing 4 copies of Leg Shredder. Our next orange action card is Flame Aura. This is primarily in here as a block. Now some people kind of question this because it's a heavily aggro deck, but sometimes you don't get those turn 2, turn 3 kills. So Flame Aura is a fantastic defensive piece. I think I've used this as an attack. You can use this as an attack to finish games because of its static text. But when you block with this, so when attempted to block with this card, reduce the speed of your opponent's attack to 0. So this is like an all block. Like you play this as a block, and you're going to need to check a 1, 2, or a 3 pretty much, depending on when you use it. This card saved me so many times. Also, while this is in my card pool, my opponent loses 1 vitality after a block is successfully played. So this can also be used if your opponent is on very low health. You can throw this out as an attack, and then it means that any time that they're going to block something, they're going to burn for 1. I've used it a few times. Like if my opponent's on low health, I throw it out as my first attack. Like they're on 3, say, and then I only have to play 3 attacks that turn, and they're dead, because if they're blocking 3 attacks, they're going to lose the 3. But yeah, this is I call this an orange action card because it very rarely gets used as an actual attack. And I'm playing 3 copies of Flame Aura. Okay, so now we're on to the kind of fun stuff. First attack up is Stretch Kick. Stretch Kick's great in this deck because, I mean, it's a 4 diff, 4 low, 4 damage, plus 1 high block. Stretch Kick's great in this deck because of its first E. E, if this attack has received a speed and damage bonus, your next attack gets +2/+2. It's also a kick, which is very relevant. So like because of Ken's top ability, getting +1/+3 for every attack removed, you're going to get your bonus. You're going to get that. I mean, it doesn't always happen, but more often than not, because we're playing 33 attacks in this deck, you're going to at least get +1/+3, which means that your next attack is going to get +2/+2. This is going to help you ramp up damage pretty fast. So, absolutely fantastic staple attack in this deck. Going to be sad when it goes. So yeah, we're playing 4 copies of Stretch Kick. 3 and 4. Next attack, Firefly Gunner. Firefly Gunner was put in here after Shadow Slicer got banned, and it kind of had a space that needed filled, but this works really well. It's a 4 diff, 4 high for 4. Most of the attacks in this deck are high. I think Stretch Kick, there's a few that aren't, but most are high. So Firefly Gunner says E, check a 7. You can add 1 other card from your card pool to your momentum. Your opponent loses 1 vitality for each of your momentum. Now, like, you're thinking, but checking a 7's pretty difficult. There's a lot of 3s in here. There's also a lot of 6s, but there's also a lot of 3s. So you check a 7, you fail, you flip over a leg shredder. So then you respond after you fail a check, this enhanced step. This attack is +2 damage. So this is pretty much a 4 high for 6, because more often than not you're going to fail that 7. But Firefly Gunner actually came into its own when I realised that No Surprises had a check on it. But it's a 4 check, but because we're playing a lot of 3s, that you're going to fail checks. So if you have a No Surprises out, you can go E4 up. Oh no, I checked a 3. You can respond with Firefly Gunner off of that and get another +2 damage. So you can make this, like, depending on how many No Surprises you have out, you can make this pretty high, just on its own without Ken's ability. So I actually really like Firefly Gunner. It was a great addition after Shadow Slicer got banned. So I'm playing 4 copies of this. 3 and 4. Our next attack is Shirai Ryukan. This is our first combo attack, so this can be used with our Yin and Yang. We can pick this up with our Yin and Yang. It's a 4 diff, 4 high for 3 damage. It's also a reversal, which is pretty good. So the reason this is in here is for its combo E. So you add 1 card from your discard pile to the top of your deck. This attack gets +3 speed or +3 damage. Now this gives you some options So you can say, right, let's just I play Shirai Ryukan after a Flame Aura, so I get the combo. So this is my second attack in my card pool. I can then combo E, uh, stack a 6 check, which means because most of my attacks are 4 diff, I know that this third attack here is gonna pass. Um, so that's fantastic. I also get the choice: do I give it +3 speed or +3 damage? Um, so you can play your Ken, you flip your 2, you get, let's say you get +1/3 from Ken, you then combo E. So you're sitting at 5 high for 6. Now you can decide, oh, do I want to make this a 5 high for 9, or do I want to make it an 8 high for 6, so I can guarantee that this hits. Like 8 speed is pretty fast, and not a lot of people are going to want to block that for 6 damage, because it is only 6. So you can push through a quick easy 6 damage and set up for something else. It also has a deadlock key, but like we're hoping that our opponent never ever makes it to deadlock. So we're playing 4 copies of Shirai Ryukan. Our next combo attack, which can also be picked up with the Yin and Yang, this is in here so that it can be picked up with Yin and Yang, because it's a +1 low block. In the Scottish meta, there's a lot of low attacks kicking about. You see a lot of Nutcracker, you see a lot of Missile Launcher. So this is in here so that you can telegraph, block something with the Yin Yang, telegraph and pick up the kunai, which I have done. So combo E, this attack gets +2 damage and stun 2. So it's a 4 low for 5 on the combo. It's another 4 diff. It has EX2, so you can push out a bit of speed from it and like it can get dangerous, obviously, and can. So I'm playing 3 copies of Takeda's kunai. I'm not playing 4 copies of every attack. I'm only playing 3 of this. Now we're on to a personal choice. Now we're on to a personal choice, which is Keiko's Slap. The Keiko Slap's in here for a great reversal. This card ignores progressive difficulty during your opponent's turn, so you can block something, come in later on with the Keiko Slap and play it on a 4. It's only a 3 mid for 3, but if it deals damage, like so, if you make it like 3 mid for 3 is nothing. But if it deals damage, your opponent's next attack this turn gets +3 difficulty. So this is gonna help turn off like your opponent's turn. It also makes your next attack this turn get -2 difficulty. But it's mainly in here to hopefully stop your opponent on the reversal. The next ability, obviously, your next attack gets -2, is great for making your turn go longer. And like, if you can make your chain go longer, your opponent's going to be able to block less and less. So Keiko Slap's a great little personal choice. And I think that I don't know if I've seen many other Ken decks play it. So our last 2 attacks are, well, Violent Shoryuken, it's our second last attack. This is your main combo. It combos off of kick. You'll have heard me mentioning kick. So the kicks that we are playing are Leg Shredder, Stretch Kick, and under here is Kurubushi Kick. So we're only playing 3 kicks, which is why you may want to play the Leg Shredder to get the combo. So the combo E here is remove 2 cards from your discard pile. This attack gets +1 speed and +3 damage for each attack removed this way. So from this you can guarantee you're drawn 2. You can also choose to remove Leg Shredders from your discard pile so you can ready Foundations, and you're getting +2/+6. You can then also rip 2 from the top, for 2 attacks from the top using Ken's ability, which will give this attack +4 speed, +12 damage. That's the potential that you can get from this. Absolutely great finisher. So this thing can go to a 7 high for 16 on its own, pretty much. Now, obviously that's not guaranteed, but that's the potential. It also has E, remove a momentum, add a card from your discard pile to your hand. So yeah, pitch a momentum, put it in the removed, and pick up another attack to help you go longer. This card's fantastic. This is Ken's rare, but it's not super expensive. So we're playing 4 copies of this. And last but not least, should be in every Ken deck on any symbol, is Kurobushi Kick. This is the big finisher. So it's 4 diff, 4 high for 3. Maybe you might be thinking, but why 3 damage? It's not going to be getting much. So this attack is remove the top card of your deck. This attack gets +1 damage for each attack, and you're removed from game pile. So you're going to I've managed to ramp up. You can get 20 attacks and you're removed from game pile pretty easily, which would give this +20 damage. So the game goes on long. As the game goes on, Kurobushi Kick gets more and more dangerous, and people will not be able to partial it at some point. So yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. Also, as you remove the top card of your deck, your opponent must lose 2 as an additional cost to attempt to block with a mid, so it also deters the partial block. So this here is your big finisher between Kurobushi Kick and Violent Shoryuken. These are what's going to end games. I didn't mention that Violent Shoryuken's a great target for picking up with Yin and Yang's block. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much my Ken. That's my take on Ken. It's won a couple of little local events. It does damage. It's very fast. There's some videos coming out of me playing this, and you'll see exactly how fast. I think they're all pretty much turn 2 kills. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, feel free to shoot me a DM. Yeah, see you later.